In this video, we're gonna talk about the law of demand and supply, which are one of the core ideas of microeconomics, including the market equilibrium, change in demand versus change in quantity demanded, and change in supply versus change in quantity supplied. The law of demand says that at higher prices, buyers will demand less of an economic good. The amount of a good that buyers purchase at a higher price is less because as the price of a good goes up, so does the opportunity cost of buying that good. The law of supply says that at higher prices, sellers will supply more of an economic good. Producers supply more at a higher price because selling a higher quantity at a higher price increases revenue. Market equilibrium is a market state where the supply in the market is equal to the demand in the market. The equilibrium price is the price of a good or service when the supply of it is equal to the demand for it in the market. Using the demand and supply curve, we will try to get the equilibrium price and quantity. The vertical axis is the price axis, and the horizontal axis is the quantity. Just by looking at the demand and supply schedule, we can already know what is the equilibrium price and quantity. First, we are going to plot the quantity demanded based on the given example. After plotting the quantity demanded, next is we will plot the quantity supplied. After we will done plotting, we will trace the equilibrium price and quantity by the intersection. We can now identify the equilibrium price and quantity in the demand and supply curve. The intersection point is the equilibrium point. If the market price is above the equilibrium value, there is an excess or a surplus supply in the market, which means there is more supply than demand. In this situation, sellers will tend to reduce the price of their good or service to clear their inventories. If the market price is below the equilibrium value, then there is excess in demand, supply shortage. In this case, buyers will bid up the price of the good or service in order to obtain the good or service in short supply. As the price goes up, some buyers will quit trying because they don't want to, or can't pay the higher price. A change in demand refers to a shift in the entire demand curve, which is caused by a variety of factors, preferences, income, prices of substitutes and complements, expectations, population, etc. In this case, the entire demand curve moves left or right. The curve shifts to the right if the determinant causes demand to increase. This means more of the good or service are demanded at every price. When the economy is booming, buyers' incomes will rise. They'll buy more of everything, even though the price hasn't changed. The curve shifts to the left if the determinant causes demand to drop. That means less of the good or service is demanded at every price. That happens during a recession when buyers' incomes drop. They will buy less of everything, even though the price is the same. A change in quantity demanded refers to a movement along the demand curve, which is caused only by a change in price. In this case, the demand curve doesn't move, rather, it moves along the existing demand curve. A change in supply is a change in the entire supply relation. This means changing, moving, and shifting the entire supply curve. The entire set of prices and quantities is changing. In other words, this is a shift of the supply curve. A change in supply is caused by a change in the 5 supply determinants. Change in costs, input prices, technology, regulations, and expectations. A decrease in supply can be thought of either as a shift to the left of the supply curve or as an upward shift of the supply curve. An increase in supply can be thought of either as a shift to the right of the demand curve or as a downward shift of the supply curve. A change in quantity supplied is a change from one price-quantity pair on an existing supply curve to a new price-quantity pair on the same supply curve. In other words, this is a movement along the supply curve. A change in quantity supplied is caused by a change in price.